Hello, this is Tanya, and this is Clueless in Suburbia. Hello, everyone. How are you all? All right, today I have my very good friend, Nikki, I call her Nikki, but she is a mom extraordinaire. She is the co-host of her podcast, Mind Over Mom. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here. I'm a little intimidated by the fact that we're going to be talking movies today, but I am very excited.
It's okay. I think you'll do great. I feel like it'll probably be a nice change up from what you typically talk about. So I feel like towards the end, you'll probably be like, okay, that was way easier than I thought.
I'm here for it.
So I want to start out. I gave you your questions before. I know you wrote them down and she examined them beforehand, which I love. So the big loaded question is, what are your top 5? No specific order.
Okay. Well, I'm going to start with oldest to newest, I guess.
Okay.
Okay. So Spice World is obviously one of my number one favorite movies. Okay. And I feel like we just recently watched it and it was so funny to see the graphics.
Yeah, we watched it on the VCR dual tube TV that I have here around my birthday time. Yes. And I feel like it was nostalgic to watch it on that sort of TV again compared to just normal streaming.
And it was funny, what we thought was hysterical back in the day to watch it now was very interesting to look at the comedy back then, I guess.
Who was your favorite Spice Girl growing up?
Definitely Baby Spice.
Okay, same. That I feel like because I was blonde, I always went towards her,
and I never got to be her because everybody would always be like, "You don't look anything like Baby Spice."
Did you get pushed to be posh?
Yeah, I was pushed to be like everybody that I didn't want to be.
It's okay.
I never got to really live out my Baby Spice dream, so that was a little bit sad.
I see. And then is any of the little parts in it stick out to you more than others?
I love when they're on the tour bus. I feel like that is my ultimate favorite part. I answered that pretty quickly.
It's okay. And they have their own little pocket rooms to themselves of their own different personalities.
I just think that if we look back on if we were able to get on that tour bus and that was such a nostalgic thing to look back. Wasn't that every girl's dream?
Oh yeah.
Wouldn't you have loved to have been on that bus?
The whole aesthetic of Spice Girls, I feel like nothing has topped it. Nothing. Personally, for me in the pop world, I think Lady Gaga's style is really interesting, and she just knows how to hit with specific things. But aesthetic wise, the Spice Girls in the late '90s, early '90s, they've been around for a long time. It has just always been monumental.
Absolutely, the bus with the swing on it. And
yes,
just all having the time of their lives. I feel like that's every young girl's dream.
Yeah. What was your favorite Spice Girl song? My favorite memory of you is always you singing in the car, singing Too Much by the Spice Girls.
I love that song. I feel like that's probably one of my favorite songs.
But what is that's your top one? You would say?
My top one.
I see. And I got you a Spice Girls vinyl for your birthday this year.
Yes, and my boys are obsessed with the Spice Girls vinyl, and I just think it's so funny because I'm they must go to school and talk about Spice Girls, and everybody's like, "Who the heck are Spice Girls?" And that's what
the teachers probably know, though. That's so funny.
But that's what I jam out to every morning. Mm-hmm. So I love that vinyl. Thanks, Tay.
No problem. Okay. Do you want to go on the next one?
Yes, definitely Parent Trap.
Okay. Wait, the Lindsay Lohan one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, the original.
Okay.
Yes. That was my favorite.
I really liked it when I was little too, and I feel like it aged really well. Yes. I saw it recently again, and I was like, this actually was really compared to there's one from the 50s. I don't know if you ever saw that one. It's borderline black and white.
Yes, the old one.
Yeah. Which was played by two actual twins from back then. But yeah, I feel like the Lindsay Lohan one holds up really well, and it's very I don't know, how else would you explain it?
I remember my mom had told me that it was not a twin playing it.
Yeah,
and I remember being in shock, that's impossible. They have to be twins, and she's like, no, it's one actress. So I feel like that was mind blowing alone, and I loved the mushiness of it and them trying to bring their parents back together.
And the stepmom, I feel I always remembered she's not officially married yet, but I remember her name was Meredith, and she was very sassy and almost right now the big thing is the old luxury thing. She looked that. And the kids were like hated her. I feel like Lindsay Lohan, that was impressive though for her to be that young and to tackle playing the two separate roles like that.
And I loved that the mom was a wedding dress designer.
Yes.
Like that was one of my favorite parts of that movie also.
Yes. The mom actually in real life was, you know, Liam Neeson is?
Yes.
Yeah, that was his, I'm pretty sure that was his wife. I think she passed away. She like died in a skiing accident or something. Something crazy.
Oh, well that's terrible.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes. But yeah, that was Liam Neeson's wife. Natasha Richardson? I think that was her name. I'm trying to think about who, and that was a Disney movie. I'm pretty sure that and like Disney or The Princess Diaries. I feel like those came out around the same time. I think that's a great choice. Anything else to add to that?
I don't think so.
No?
I think that's it.
Okay. All right.
You're going to like my next one anyway.
Okay.
Do you want to guess it?
I want to say Mean Girls.
It is.
Okay.
It is Mean
Okay.
Girls.
Okay.
That was and is like one of my favorite movies.
There is not a single I feel like that's going to be in Alyssa's too, which I'm waiting for. But have you ever met a girl that doesn't like Mean Girls? Like I've never met someone that's like, except for maybe a boy, but like I've never come across a female that's like, no, don't like Mean Girl. Like I feel like I
feel like it's kind of like the equivalent to our later favorite, like Spice Girls was such a big thing, and then like Mean Girls was such a, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like in the future, because I kind of went in order from like earliest to most current movie.
Okay.
And I feel like no, I don't think that I've ever met a girl that has said they didn't like the movie.
Well, it's like very, especially in high school, I feel like it's so relatable with like the cliques and everything like that. It really hits. It really does hit. Like you watch it and you're like, every girl can watch it and relate to it in some sense.
Yeah, and then Regina George gets hit by the bus.
Yeah. Did you watch the new one? Or not really the new one. It's like a musical. Like it's not good.
Where I can't. Like,
yeah.
Certain movies like that, I feel like I just cannot watch a newly made movie of it.
Yes. I mean, I know they came out with there's an actual Broadway musical, which that I would actually like give the chance and see it.
I would see that.
Yeah. But the movie rendition of the musical of it, and then it's just more, I don't know, something about it. Like I really did try. I liked the girl that played the new version of Karen. It's like a newer big actress named Avantika. I feel like she did really good playing Karen, but other than that, I was just not satisfied. But the main actress, the girl that plays Regina, and the new one was like saying how millennials, like she's ageist against millennials because she's gotten so much hate towards them.
Yeah.
But I was like, whatever. It's not a very good remake musical thing that they did. So I don't feel bad about it. I don't know.
I'll stick to the original.
Yeah, same.
Definitely a favorite.
Who was your favorite out of all, like Katie, Regina, Karen, Gretchen Wieners?
Katie was definitely my favorite.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I was a Karen because I feel like Karen
is like your vibe.
Yeah.
Right?
Something about Karen, I feel like even when I was little, I was like, that's probably who I would be out of all four.
Yeah, I wasn't really a fan of Regina. I was kind of like
I appreciate her though. Like you have to appreciate her bluntness with things to some extent. I don't know. She definitely was mean, but
I'm not a fan of Mean Girls.
It's okay.
Of Mean Girls in real life.
Yes.
Obviously, I'm a fan of the movie, but like she turned me off.
Yeah.
And Gretchen Wieners just had an annoying voice.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Her dad's the creator of Toaster Strudel. Like,
really?
That's what not the real actress, but Gretchen Wieners. That's one of the quotes in it. It's like her dad invented Toaster Strudel.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I thought you were talking about in real life. But no. She didn't catch my attention as much.
Yeah. That's great. I have that on VHS.
I was going to say, I might have to watch that tonight.
Yeah. I found that on VHS. That actually goes for a little bit more on VHS than other of the classic VHSs I have.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I guess because it was towards the end, too, of VHS movies, like being released. So I guess there probably wasn't as many distributed.
Okay.
And I found one in very good condition when I was in DC, and I immediately scooped. Even before, like, that was one of the first ones that I collected recently.
That's super cool.
Yeah. Okay, great. Solid pick. Solid number 3. All right, what's your number 4?
The Notebook.
Okay, I actually have never seen that.
I love The Notebook. I feel like
it's a classic. I get it.
I am so here for like a love story that ends like as a love story.
Okay.
Like there's no curveballs. There's no like, it's like a true I could watch it 100 times and I freaking cry every single time. You have to watch that movie.
I've had like,
I know it's not your genre of choice.
well, the thing is I feel like I could appreciate it for what it is, and I feel like I feel like at the time almost maybe it was too overhyped, and I was just like, like I know what's gonna happen because so many people spoiled it at the time.
For sure. I feel like it was definitely. Oh, do I have to have this close to
Yes,
my
it's
mouth?
okay.
Sorry, I should know this as a podcast.
It's all right. But I feel like I think because it was kind of spoiled for me because it was so talked about back in the day. Where I think if I did sit down, I also think the older I've gone, I don't know if you've noticed this with age. When I was younger, I would watch stuff and not feel as emotional and not cry. And sometimes I watch things nowadays and I will like the tears kind of come
They'll just flow.
a little easier now. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's age, but you should definitely give it a try.
I
Get
will.
yourself some ice cream.
I'll make Dylan
Lay on
watch
the
it with me.
couch.
Dylan will probably say he doesn't want to watch it, and then he'll watch it and be like, "Oh, that wasn't bad."
It's just like such a cute movie and so like heartfelt, and I don't want to ruin it for you, especially because you haven't seen it.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good transition from Mean Girls to that because Rachel McAdams, it's like two complete polar opposite characters as well.
Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah,
It really is.
because that was like her prime
Yeah.
then too. She was in a lot of stuff back then. And she's not in my. I guess she probably made her bag,
Yeah,
and now
she's not
just
in
is
much
like
anymore.
chilling. All right, that's your number 4. What's your number 5? Your last.
Eat, Pray, Love.
Okay, that I have never seen either, but
Oh
I read the book. I read like some of the book back. I do like it, and I like
Yeah.
Julia Roberts a lot. I am a
Yeah.
big Julia Roberts fan. I think it's a good movie to watch when you're old. I think I'd be able to appreciate it now at my age.
I love that movie. I just think it's a beautiful story.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, there's no like I don't want to say I'm boring in the movie category, but like mine are just all like happy go lucky, like go find yourself.
Yeah, but that's why I wanted to have like so many different people on this is because I know every person is bringing something different to the table with their answers,
Yeah.
and each are gonna have their own vibe of what they like.
I just loved her story in it. Like I just loved how she like went and found herself.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's like something truly beautiful. And I feel like she's like a mid-aged woman trying to figure herself out again. And I just love it.
I saw a scene on TikTok, like, because my TikTok always has like movie content on it, and someone posted like a clip from it of like her and one of the friends that were like in Italy eating a pizza or something like, and the
Yeah.
one girl's like, oh, like I gained like 5 pounds since I've been here or something like that, and Julia Roberts like does the whole talk about just being like live in the moment, like forget your pants, like eat the pizza, you're in Italy or something. And I was like, I live like that every day, and that's why I'm consistently at the gym. But
it's such a beautiful story, and it's just so. I think that now you'd love it. Like I think you should back to back like The Notebook and Eat, Pray, Love, and tell me what you think about both.
I will.
And we should do like a recap.
We should. I feel like Alyssa probably really likes that. I know Alyssa's probably seen that.
Yeah, absolutely. We've definitely talked about it before.
Yeah. I feel like I want to go to Europe so bad. I have.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not a big traveler either, so I think that when I watch that movie, I like live through her.
You can escape a little like through the movie.
Yeah, like I love watching her experiences. Like if that's one that I can have on, like I can watch multiple times.
A comfort movie.
Yes,
That's-
and I can't really like rewatch movies. That's like one of my things. Like I either like it or I either am gonna watch it again or I'm just never gonna watch it. Like there's no middle of the road.
I see. I'm back and forth with it. Me and Dylan had talked about this the other day when we were recording his, but just how like sometimes like he'll get fixated on things and we'll watch them over and over again. But like I'll have it with some things, but then there's other movies like we just watched something called The Civil War, and same with like the movie Get Out. That was a very big horror movie. I feel like it's like movies like that where like I watch one time, it's like anxiety inducing. I know what's gonna happen. The big surprise happens at the end, and then I'm like, all right, great movie, but like I don't really have to watch it ever again. Like I get it. I absorbed it for what it is, but like I don't really have an issue. I don't really have a desire to watch it multiple times over and over and over after that. Like it just has to make me feel a little bit more fuzzy inside for me to want to do that.
And I feel like with music, I do. Like if I get on like certain soundtracks or certain like albums, I can listen to them over and over. But I feel like with movies, I can't. It's so weird.
What have you been listening to lately?
I've been listening to a lot of stuff, but I seriously need to get to a Lumineers concert because I feel like I constantly go back to the Lumineers.
Okay.
I don't know. It's like something about
I think I've actually seen them. I saw them, I think, because they were like big on the festival circuit back in the day. So I definitely saw them like when they first really started popping off in the early 2010s, like once or twice at Bonnaroo.
Yeah.
And they were great. They sound just like they do on CD.
See them so bad. That's like a bucket list thing for me.
Keep an eye out. I mean, I feel like that's something Alyssa, I know, really likes them too. I feel like I would go check that out as well. They probably would pay like, I could picture them playing PNC or something.
I feel like something about their albums just
they resonate with you.
Resonate with me, and it just makes me feel like some sort of way because I can consistently listen to them.
Yeah.
And never get sick of it. It's so weird because I bounce. Like I'll try out new albums, and then I feel like I bounce back to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely more with music than movies.
What was the first movie that this is my? I'm realizing this has been my favorite question I've been asking people is what is the first movie that you saw in the movie theaters as a little kid?
Okay, so it was 1991.
Okay.
And I was only a year and a half old.
Okay. So it still counts. Even though you probably don't remember, it still completely is valid.
Well, I actually think that like it must have impacted me because all the movies that like I just named to you. I mean, most of the movies, like I said, love, romance are definitely like my top movies. And the movie that I saw in the movie theater for the first time at a year and a half years old. I can't talk.
It's okay.
Year and a half was Beauty and the Beast.
Okay. Okay. And did Maddox go through a phase of Beauty and the Beast too?
Both of my boys are actually absolutely obsessed with Beauty and the Beast. They're obsessed with Belle. They're obsessed with the Beast. They're obsessed with meeting them. They cannot wait to go to Disney. And that's like the first two people that they want to see.
That's cute. So the cartoon, I distinctly remember really enjoying the cartoon of Beauty and the Beast when I was younger, especially with like the plates coming alive and everything like that. I feel like something about that Disney movie always stuck out with me when I was little.
Yeah, so my mom said that she wanted to take me to see the movie with my grandma, even though they knew that I wasn't going to have any recollection of going. So they took me, but they said that the soundtrack was so... like I was so immersed in like the soundtrack and the animation and just everything that I sat through the entire movie.
Really?
Which, if you know me now, I don't sit through anything really, and I didn't really sit through anything at the time either. So it must have been pretty catchy.
I feel like it probably I mean, I guess like the music I think of with it. I mean, it must have probably been calming to some extent. Like I get it. Like on it, you ever see Anastasia?
Yes.
Yeah, that was like my little brother's favorite like cartoon when he was little.
Yeah.
And we used to play the main song from it to get him to like sleep when he was little. And he was very hyperactive. So.
But I think that the music in the Disney movies were so much more than they are now. I mean, the
agree.
Music now is good too, but like could really catch your attention because my brother, his favorite was Little Mermaid.
Okay.
And it was the same thing. I feel like it was just the musical, the soundtrack, everything.
Yeah.
That was just so calming as a child.
I feel like, I mean, it's probably like a millennial bias, but I feel like just in general, I like the cartoon. I just like the cartoons more than just like the computer graphic thing, CGI, whatever they're doing now.
Yeah.
Which that's probably makes us sound old by agreeing with that. But I love cartoons.
They're classics and all of them. It's okay, Tanya.
And I feel like they just hold up well. And even with my horror movies, I like when they actually did like real makeup, like the real makeup in real life. And they make an actual person look like that in real life. And I hate the CGI stuff. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, but I know. Everything's changing.
Yeah. I wonder if that's Alyssa. Or maybe not. I hear something. But all right, moving on. Sorry, we had a little interruption. So next question is, what do you think is a underrated movie? What is your you think of a movie, you're like, this is underrated, it's not talked about enough?
I believe that the most underrated movie is Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Okay.
And I just love it. It's so goofy. It reminds me so much of my friendships.
Okay.
Like with you guys.
Yes. Yeah.
And I just feel like every character is unique and different in their own way. And I know it's like such a corny flick, but I love it.
I like it too. I had seen bits and pieces of it when I was younger, but I actually watched that fully through for the first time when I was in DC the past year.
Really?
Yeah. I sat down. It was on one of the streaming things and I was just bored and I was like, you know what? I just feel like watching something that's a little bit more feel good. That's not going to make me think too much. That, and I love Blake Lively. Alyssa loves Blake Lively too.
Yeah.
And I fully watched it, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I love the parts where I think she's in Barcelona, the one girl, and I was just like, I need to go there one day in my life. But it is a great. That was a book series first. I know that, and it was very well regarded in the
remember when
teen
we tried to do a book?
Yes,
we were doing the
wait.
same
Did I
thing?
give it back to you? I have it. I know it's somewhere. I saw it a while back.
Instead of pants, we did a book.
Yes. I'm trying to think. I say so I don't know if you have. How did you get past that on your podcast? Because I feel like I say all the time.
So like we still say a lot, and I say like a lot, and
Like to. I'm real guilty with that.
I never want to get rid of, so we don't change that. We just continue to say it, and I feel like it brings authenticity to the podcast because it's like real life conversation. You're having it. One of my big lines is always like, I feel.
Yeah.
I feel, and I say it a lot. But I just feel like that's what makes it really different than just a normal edited podcast.
To be honest, even when I do listen to things and I do like which very rarely I unless I'm looking for it, then I'll notice people saying and like and things, but like I typically don't notice it. But then when I read like or I see people talking on TikTok, I'll see comments like of people being like, oh my God, you say and like so much to like other people, and I'm like, are they just saying that to be like an asshole? Like I don't really know, but now I'm saying again. But yeah. Back on track to the conversation though. So your underrated is Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. You weren't a big book reader when you were younger.
I'm not a big book reader at all in life in general.
That's all right. I mean, when I was younger, I definitely appreciated like teen novels, but with age, I probably read like tops 3 books a year, maybe. Wish I had time to read more. Doesn't happen. But so we got to your underrated. What do you think is like an overrated movie?
Gone Girl. It's my overrated movie.
And I feel like that's going to be on Alyssa's top 5, which is...
I think there's way too many holes in it.
Okay.
I feel like I didn't like the ending.
Okay.
Was just, honestly, I think they should have had like better characters. Better like people playing the characters.
You didn't like the actresses either, or the actors? I mean, I'm not really a Ben Affleck person personally. Like
Yeah, like I just think that they could have, like, now looking... I feel like that movie gets so much
praise,
glorification.
Yeah.
And I just think that there's so many actors and actresses that could have played better roles in that movie.
Okay. I feel like...
And it's like holy. Like there's like so many missing little pieces to it.
Yeah, I think they do that to some extent to leave it up to the watcher to perceive what their thought processes were for it.
Yeah,
but
that's not like my cup of tea. So
I guess I don't really like, I suppose, how they really glorified how toxic of a situation both that couple was in. I don't think that was like great to be, I don't know, I guess again glorified.
Yeah.
To some extent. But I do like that movie. Like I do watch that. I do rewatch every once in a while. And I think I like the lead singer of 9 Inch Nails, Trent Reznor. That's like another movie that he did the soundtrack for. So I do like the film score for it a lot.
Yeah.
So I feel like I find myself rewatching a lot of the movies he does film scores for, and that's one of them. But I feel like I wonder in like 10, 15 years if that's going to be something that ages as well though. Because
like, you think it's just gonna fall off the...
Not that it's gonna fall off, but I think probably the characters actions in it, and like, or just the way they are with being so toxic to each other, like I think that's like with age people don't want that. And
Yeah.
I feel like especially like Gen Z and stuff like that doesn't likes to cut down toxic behavior. So
I mean, I like that.
So
I'm just saying. I'm not part of that. Am I part of that generation?
No,
No.
we're technically millennials, but
I like to cut away toxicity.
No. Well, that's the thing is they're not cutting away no, that's what Gen Z does. Is I feel like they like cutting out toxicity.
I know. I'm jumping on their bandwagon right now.
Well, yeah, that's why you're probably saying you don't like the movie too, is because they glorify it, and the couple is like clearly very toxic to each other, but they like just are like having fun with it to some extent to a masked extreme.
That's what I think I just don't get that. Like maybe it's the fact that I watch so many like
happier movies,
chick
and that's
flick, happy, like ridiculously people are in love, and then I like think that everything should be peachy, you know, because I watch all that.
Yeah.
But I'm just not. It's just not my jam.
It's
not
okay. I'm curious now. Watch it. I like now that Alyssa's coming in a little while to record hers. We're gonna die. I feel like we're both gonna laugh if she says that in her top 5.
Cannot say anything to her.
I know.
I'm
I know.
glad she's not here for this.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, and then so that's your overrated, which I think is a great answer. I do think that's a great answer, even though I slightly disagree with that. I think it's a great answer because I feel like again, it's everyone's bringing their own opinion to it. So, but I know there is other people that definitely hate that movie. I see it online talked about very widely that they think it is overrated.
Yeah.
So you are right. You are justified in your answer.
Thanks, honey.
You're welcome.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
So, all right. The last and final question. Oh, no, not the last question. So what are you looking forward to in the future that's coming out? Any like movie trailers that you've seen that have like caught your eye?
Yes. I really, really have been wanting to read the books by Colleen Hoover.
Okay.
But I effing hate reading, like, so much.
Okay.
And she's actually releasing a movie called In the End. So I am, like, so amped up to go see it.
That you get to now, like, give into the hype with it because now you can now watch it on screen as opposed to having to read.
Yes. Like, I read the back of books.
Wait, what is that?
Like the back, like what it's about.
Oh, okay, the back,
like
okay.
the actual physical back of the book to, like, see if it would intrigue me. And, like, every one of her books intrigue me, but I still dislike reading, like, so much.
It's funny because I keep telling Alyssa to watch specific things, but then she's like, "Oh, I have the book for it, but I want to read the book first." And I'm like, "Just watch the series; it's out already."
I'm like the worst. Honestly, tell her about the book. Tell me about the series.
Yes, there you go.
Because I feel like I will watch anything any day over the television or versus like reading a book. So yes, In the End by Colleen Hoover is coming out, and I am so.
Those are like a lot of those are love stories, right? Yep.
Yeah.
I feel like because I feel like the books are so like I've never read them, but I feel like they are so big. The TV show it's a TV show or a movie?
It's a movie.
It's a movie. It's probably going to end up being big.
Yeah,
because
it's probably going to be
people
big.
love those books.
Her books are so big.
Mm-hmm. I always see when I go to Barnes and Noble like huge stands for them and stuff like that. Okay, so this is my final question, and I feel like this is the funnest question, is what is your favorite movie theater like snack or treat that you got when you're younger? And now that you're older also, I feel like I've been asking, since now you're older, like has your taste changed with it? Have you changed it up? What are you going for now? No,
so I have always had the favorite movie theater snack, and I feel like I get my chops busted for it all the time. But it's Raisinets.
Okay.
Raisinets are my ultimate. If I'm going to the movies, that's what I want.
I think those are very underrated. I really like Raisinets. They're so really good. They're really good.
My husband busts my chops. He's like, you're literally getting a chocolate-covered raisin to eat at the movies. And I'm like, they're my favorite.
It is really good. Have you ever had chocolate-covered dates?
No, but I would probably love those too. Because I love fruit covered in chocolate.
Yeah, I feel like it's like, because dates do kind of remind me of raisins to some extent, but just like more caramel tasting.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like I should make them one day because I make like the peanut butter stuffed ones and dark chocolate, and they're so freaking good. That's a great answer though. You don't ever like fuck with popcorn or anything like that?
I'll get it. If somebody else is getting it, I'll stick my hand in there,
That's usually what I'll do. I feel like I never get a full thing of popcorn, but I feel like I just went to the movies a few weeks ago, and the girl I was with, she got like a huge thing of popcorn, and I think I had like one little bite of it. I was like, okay, that's all I need. But some people love like all the butter on it and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'll stick my hand in somebody else's.
What sort of drink do you go for?
I like getting slushies.
Oh, like the blue or red?
Blue.
Yeah, blue.
Definitely
Blue's where it's at.
Yeah. Yeah, if I'm going to have popcorn, I'm definitely getting a slushie because I feel like the salt in the popcorn always makes me
good
super,
balance.
Like, I need something refreshing to go alongside. Yeah. I tried to get like a kid's box for myself last time I went. Raisinets, popcorn.
It's probably cheaper to do it as a combo.
They wouldn't do it. They're like, you're not a child. I'm like, I should have brought my kids. They wouldn't do it.
I feel like every person it's come up now.
I think it was with you.
Probably. Wait, what do we say?
Oh, that's a story
Lisa Frankenstein. I'm surprised you didn't say that as your overrated.
Okay, maybe we should talk about that.
Yeah. We saw Lisa Frankenstein. Nikki was not a fan.
Okay, so my husband and I were having a conversation at the dinner table the night before. I went to the movie theater with Tanya, Alyssa, and our other friend Alyssa. Mm-hmm. And Mike's like, what are you going to see? And I was like, Mike, I'm so excited. I'm like, I am going to see a movie about the creator of the Lisa Frank stickers. And he was like, what are those? And I don't have any little girls, but if I did, they would have Lisa Frank stickers. And I was like, Mike, how do you not know what Lisa Frank stickers are? They're like shiny and cool, and they were like the best. And I used to have them all over my folders. And I like went down this huge rabbit hole of telling my husband all about how we were going to see the creator of
her life story
her life
and movie
story and why she created these stickers and these coloring books. Meanwhile, I don't even know how graphic we can get on this podcast. It was not what I thought. It was not.
You can get a little graphic because I'm planning on like putting little bleeps in over curses and stuff like that too. So that's why I'm like, feel free to curse.
We
or
go
say,
into this movie theater and we we go to watch this movie, and Alyssa and Tanya, the other Alyssa, everybody's like all prepared, all excited, and then it starts, and I'm like, what is this? And then the guy loses his pee. I was done.
Yeah.
I was done. It was so graphic. It was a, what do you call those things? Rom-com.
Yeah, it was like a rom-com. It was like a rom-com slash thriller.
It was literally like her name was Lisa Frank and she met Frankenstein or whatever. I still don't even know the point of the movie. But he lost every body part and ligament.
Yes. He was like a Victorian era zombie or came back alive. I know you were very disappointed. I felt bad at the end.
I was very underimpressed.
Did you ever see like in any antique? I don't know, like if you go thrifting or antiquing with like your mom. I know your mom likes to go to like the Point Pleasant one. She was telling me, but like they have a whole stand there with like almost like early like 90s and early 2000s toys and stuff, and they have a few Lisa Frank items from back then, and they're all like $80 each. Like they're so expensive. They go for so much now, like the old Lisa Frank stuff.
Well, I wouldn't be buying that for that much, but I loved that I wanted to learn her story and why she why she did what she did.
Did you ever hear? I don't think it might have been torn down already, but there was people on TikTok. There's like a huge Lisa Frank like factory in some state, I don't know what state, that is like completely abandoned, and it says like Lisa Frank on the side with like the bright neon and everything like that, but it's abandoned and people were like going exploring and stuff like that, like trying to get into it.
No, Tanya, I never heard of that, but that sounds pretty cool.
I'll send you. It's actually pretty interesting. I think people keep trying to, I think they tore it down because people kept trying to like break into it. Yeah. But all right, that wraps up all of our questions.
That was fun.
Are you nervous? I feel like once you like talk for, I feel like a little bit, I don't know, about movies, and it gets more comfy.
Yeah, I feel like this isn't my typical like TED Talk, but like here we are and I'm fine.
Yes.
I feel like it was very fun.
But thank you so much. Do you want to throw any sort of props to your podcast and the name in case anyone wants to follow?
Oh yeah, you can follow us we are a totally different genre.
Yes.
We talk about mental health and the need for community and motherhood, and it is Mind Over Mom on Instagram, but you could find us on Apple, Spotify, everywhere and anywhere that you can listen to a podcast, we are there.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you so much for coming on. This has been really fun, actually. I feel like this is probably the most comfortable out of any of them I've been so far. I definitely was really nervous when I was recording my brother's, but that's, yeah.
It's because it's your brother.
Yes.
You're good. This was fun. Thank you for having me, Tanya.
Thank you, Nikki. All right. Bye. Thank you so much for listening, guys.